When the world is in crisis, what can we do but continue to race? Not in the real world, of course, here in the virtual world of iRacing, where we are here at Laguna, Seca for the third round of Missed Apex Podcast Global Mazda MX5 Cup Championship. And we are in for a fantastic evening of some great races. We've got 3 championship races coming up for you this evening. I'm Chris Stevens. I'll be your lead commentator this evening, and I'm joined tonight by Chris Catman-Turner.
Good evening, Chris. If practice was anything to go by, I am very excited for the racing today. It's going to be epic. So
as we wait for the grid to form up, we can give you a rundown of the championship. As we've mentioned, Steve Ficacci and David Hatton are top 2 joint on points, despite the fact that Ficacci has had 3 wins so far this season, and David Hatton yet to take the top spot. Bit of a gap down to Sam Harper and Lucas Wallace, and Spanners Ready in 5th place. But as we say, a lot of points up for grabs. You know, with 35 cars, that means the leader can get 34 points in one race, and with 3 races this evening, there's a lot of points up for grabs tonight. And John Lang, the last of the top guys who have competed so far in every race. And then we have the likes of Jelly Ooms, who have been right up there, but only in 3 races. And we are underway for the first race. It's a clean start for David Hatton, and Steve Ficacci just tucks up alongside him. Looks like that's Sam Watley just getting up on the grass there on the outside, and he's round actually. That number 1 car, Sam Watley, is off and round. Through the pit lane exit he goes, but he's had contact somewhere in there. John Lang and Bradley Philpott going wheel to wheel for 3rd place, but it looks like it is John Lang who is hanging on to it for now, with Sam Harper coming under pressure from Michael Weddle for 6th place. And a bit of a squirm there for James Wingfield in the orange and black number 24 car. Looks like he's already had contact down in there, but so he's I think dropped down a place, but Hatton it leads, and
breaking news for you, Chris.
And
Bradley Philpott is on his roof at the exit of turn 5. He is out of the race.
Wow, already so drama on the opening lap here at Laguna Seca, as Brad Philpott, our professional, already out. So he could have it all to do still. Top 3 pulling away already then. Bit of a gap to Sam Harper, it looks like. And somebody has been making big progress, and I'll tell you what, that's Michael Weddle in the number 7. I thought it was one of the Missed Apex liveried cars, because he's running very similar colours with the white, black and red, but no, it is Michael Weddle who's made his way up into P4. And at the end of lap 1, still Hatton leads, Ficacci and Lang, the top 3. A super close group, separated by 3/4 of a second at the end of lap 1.
Yeah, these 3 look like they're glued together. Ficacci looked to the inside, but he was just doing a bit of a done move on Hatton, trying to see if he can make him into an error. So the 3 of them really circulating very close together. It's going to be an exciting race today.
Gary Thomas has had a mega first lap, up from 11th into 5th place. James Wingfield did pick up a place. Hatton wide on the exit of turn 3 there. Could this be the opportunity for Ficacci? He looks up the inside at turn 4, but he doesn't find a way through. Now John Lang looks to be on the attack on the outside towards turn 5. They're side by side coming into the left-hander. Lang has already pulled ahead by the time they get on the anchors for the left-hander, but he's going wide through the corner, and Ficacci tries to get level with him on the exit, but unless he's fully alongside through the high-speed turn 6, he's not going to find his way back through there.
Yeah, you're brave if you stick your nose back in there.
Hatton again looks like he's made another small error, and that's put Lang right on the back of him as they head towards the corkscrew for the second time, just covering the inside ever so slightly as they make his way down in there. I just mentioned Spanners. He's up 2 places from 18th on the grid, so he's up to 16th place. Good strong start there for him. Kyle Power has had an absolute lightning start from 33rd to 14th. So hopefully we'll see him come through the pack a little bit later on. But these 3 are absolutely mesmerising to watch at the moment. John Lang up 1 place at the end of lap 2. Not pulling away too much from Michael Weddle there, but again, just 0.7 of a second separate that top 3 as they come across the line to start lap 3. And Ficacci again looking towards that inside line at the Andretti hairpin, and might just find his way through because he's forced John Lang wide, and this could be the opportunity for Ficacci to retake second place. No, Lang has been able to hold on to it, and that's just given Hatton a little bit of breathing room there.
Yeah, that is the beauty of the Andretti hairpin. There are a number of lines through there, and you can defend quite happily just by cutting back to that apex again. It's a double apex hairpin, and it makes it for very interesting racing there.
So back into turn 5 for the 3rd time. Nothing separating these guys. And again, Michael Weddle, Gary Thomas and James Wingfield watching closely. And if these start squabbling, then that could bring those guys back into contention. Bit of traffic coming up already as some of the guys who've come into the pits for repairs are about to be a lap down. So that could wrong foot Hatton potentially, or any of this top 3, to be honest. Could play a part in this lead battle. Through Rainey's curve. All smooth for that top 3, although Lang looked like he was just getting a bit of a swapper on, and that's opened up the door for Ficacci. Down the inside he goes at the penultimate corner. Wonderful opportunistic move there. Lang, is he going to have another look back up the inside on the way into the final corner? No, settles into 3rd place. Ficacci back up into 2nd place.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about in the qualifying session, is that any tiny mistake between these 3 and it just drops your place almost instantly. The bumps and the dips make it very hard to be consistent.
To right, and Ficacci again looking towards that inside of the Andretti hairpin, trying to get the lead away from his title rival.
And I believe we can go to Spanners now.
The carnage in the first corner was unbelievable. I did end up getting a bit of damage, but people were pretty polite, desperate to get out of the way and not be the one that ruins anyone's race.
You've said that's your strong point, though, is getting through the carnage on lap 1, up 4 places.
Yeah, so only a little bit of damage in that my steering wheel is now like basically at 90 degrees.
Sorry, Spanners, I'm going to have to just cut over you there because it's side by side for the lead of the race on the way into turn 6. And we were saying it's a brave man who goes up the inside there. And Ficacci is that brave man indeed. He takes the lead of race 1, and Hatton is slow on the exit of the corner. And traffic getting in the way there as well as Lang tries to get up around the outside. It's 3 wide on the way into the corkscrew, and Lang brilliantly takes 2nd place.
That was amazing how he had threaded the needle there. It's not done yet.
Hatton's not finished through Rainey's curve. He's back up the inside into 2nd place. And now Lang again looking towards the outside through the penultimate corner. All this just allowing Ficacci to stretch his legs out to the front. Look at the gap he's pulled already as Hatton is still trying to defend his 2nd place.
We can probably go back to Spanners now if I unmute him. So Spanners, you were saying?
Yeah, check if you can hear me. Well, basically, I've got a bit of a damage where I can't turn left very well. So that is making things interesting. Like
It's a good job not too many of these are left-handers then.
Yeah, well, I've got Gregory leader. There was no point fighting him with a slightly damaged car. I think I'm about a second off what I can do at the moment, which puts me in a great midfield fight. If I can stay near Kyle and John Cox, I'll be happy.
Not a bad crowd to be in at all. John Cox, another man who has made incredible progress, 28th to 12th at the moment. And Carl Power from 33rd has made up even more positions, up to 11th place now for the Global Mazda MX5 Cup rookie of this weekend. Might just get rookie of the race with this one. So, leaders still close together. Ficacci had a 9/10 of a second advantage as they came over the start-finish line to begin lap 5. And Lang still looking for a way through, past Hatton into 2nd place. As they go through the corkscrew one more time and into Rainey's curve. All the way through for Hatton on this occasion. Saw him sliding his way through there a little bit earlier on. Looked a lot neater that time around. There's going to be very little to separate these guys come the end of it, is there? Hatton looked like he was feeling the need to go defensive into the final corner, but brings it back over to the racing line. Actually, it looks like they've taken quite a chunk out of Ficacci's lead by not squabbling. So maybe they're just trying to work in tandem, make sure Ficacci doesn't get away, which is exactly what Hatton needs if he wants to take points away from his title rival. Yep, 0.3 quicker was Hatton on that lap. So once again, less than a second covers the top three.
We had a little bit of a scary moment there as somebody coming out the pit lane got on the grass, or rather on the dust just coming out, and nearly came right on in front of the leaders, but luckily he managed to spin back towards the inside.
Definitely pulling away from Michael Weddle. 3 seconds is the gap between Lang and that number 7 car in 4th place.
There is a great battle going on in the midfield between John Cox and Gregory Leader. If we can head to those guys now. Cox is going defensive, Leader is all over the back of him, and Sam Harper is joining in that fight as well. Coming down to turn 5, Harper's looking to the inside of Leader, but he thinks better of it, tucks in. So Harper in the blue Scottish car, and Leader in the Castrol liveried vehicle.
Leader, one of the most recognisable guys in this championship with the Castrol coloured cars, with John Cox as well. That's 3 very distinguishable cars. I was just keeping an eye on that lead battle, and John Lang did have a little look at Hatton into the penultimate corner, but to no avail on that occasion. So we're back with them now, and this looks like it could be Lang's opportunity, as he's got a great slipstream and he's pulled out towards that right-hand side, going towards the outside of the Andretti hairpin. Might force Hatton in deep. Nope. He keeps it tight in that number 21 car. So well defended there from Hatton, but once again, they're letting Ficacci get away.
That's it. Every time these two squabble over that position, it just gives Ficacci that little bit of breathing room that he needs.
Tim Ellis was a man in the wars on the opening lap, I believe it was. He's down in 22nd place from 8th on the grid, and he's got the track all to himself at the moment. Elsewhere, it looks like that battle between Cox, Leader and Harper is very much hotting up, as they're squabbling about all over the place on the way out of turn 4. Still Cox who leads it, but Leader and Harper have swapped round. And it looked like things were getting a little bit elbows out as they came through there. And Spanners has caught onto the back of that pack as well. So it could be a 4-way scrap for what is currently 12th place.
Oh no, I'm going to have to do an overtake.
Yes, you are. You're going to have to break your golden rule as they head up towards the corkscrew. And it's Cox going towards the inside.
And there was a great lunge there from Harper on the inside of Leader, and he's taken the lead of this little battle with Leader just behind. And then John Cox is under pressure from Spanners Ready, who's going down the inside into turn 1. Oh, now he's thought better of it again.
Well, Spanners was an absolute demon on the brakes into the Andretti hairpin during Thursday's practice, and he didn't feel like pulling that same manoeuvre there. But Cox has lost 2 places with that little squabble there at the end of the previous lap. So he's down in 14th place currently.
We can hopefully go to Spanners live now. Spanners, how do you feel about this battle? Are you going to have a go for it deep under the brakes? I am trying to unmute Spanners, but it doesn't seem to be working. I do apologise.
How about that? How about now?
That's better. Go
Okay,
for
so
it,
Sam Harper is faster than this, so I'm assuming he's got a bit of damage. John Cox looks fighty, but It is going to cost me to get involved in this battle.
Fighty indeed. He was rubbing wheels with Leader, and Leader's gone off on the way into the corkscrew, maybe as a result of that contact.
And my plan of just waiting for people to crash works again.
Just point out a change for 4th place as Gary Thomas has gotten ahead of Michael Weddle. Still all this over 12th place. And John Cox is the next man in his sights for 13th. And yeah, Ian Erasmus has joined the fray as well there in 15th. Gregory Leader, maybe we're not giving him enough credit because he has come up from 31st on the grid. Adam Russales from 32nd to 17th as well, so he's made strong progress as well. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, it's looking pretty equidistant out there now. I think maybe they've had their squabbles, and yep, this is indeed the last lap actually. So Ficacci is going to take a 4th victory of the season and extend his championship lead ahead of David Hatton and John Lang. Your podium. Ficacci takes the race 1 win. And Gary Thomas taking 4th place there with a very timely move on Michael Weddle. Gary Thomas there in the orange and blue number 29 car.
There is a squabble going on between Erasmus and Leader just behind Spanners. And they've settled each other out now, but they were side by side just coming out of the corkscrew into the final turn. There's a gaggle of 5 cars very close together.
Yeah, one of them is the back marker, and that's Erasmus flinging out the inside of Spanners at the final corner, making a last corner lunge as he got just enough momentum to stay ahead of Spanners by the time they get up to the line. Yes, he has. So it was Sam Harper who came out on top of that battle for 12th place ahead of John Cox, Mark Greenhow, and then Ian Erasmus and Spanners ready there with a really, really good squabble there. Gregory Leader 16th, and hats off to rookie Carl Power 33rd to 10th. A phenomenal debut.